Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early February 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. And we're going to get right down to business here, my friends. I'll start you off with an oracle card here just so we can take a temperature of the energy and breeze into this reading nice and smooth. So let's shuffle it up one time for the lovely Gemini collective. My guides, talk to me. Let's see what we got. I really hope you're all doing well. And yeah, we're just going to get this first card out for you, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card with the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what type of shadows might pop up or what shadow work you might want to lean into. So there is much for you to think about and consider, my friends. Let's get these cards going now. What do we have for Gemini? Let's get this first card out, please, for Gemini. Thank you. Okay, so the Fool card is showing up here. Now, this isn't a tarot deck, but this card in specific I do liken to the Fool, and I'll explain why. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. It's an extra special one this month. And also, if you're active on Twitter, my handle is @KyleofCups. Please feel free to tweet me things. But into the reading we go. We have this lovely card. So yes, maybe some of you are tied to an Aries because that's the card that's linked with the Fool. But to me, this card has all the same dynamics that the Fool in the tarot deck does. So a new beginning, a new cycle, starting a new journey. A lot of you might be in that mind state, pardon me, where you're just like, all right, I want to start doing this. I want to start working towards this. Or a lot of you could be going through a big karmic shift in life, which is what I've been seeing in the past few weeks for you. But there is always that little warning when it comes to the Fool that you shouldn't be too spontaneous, that there's warnings, there's possible hazards around the bend. So make sure whatever it is you're going through in life, it's that slow, methodical, slow and steady. But this does bode well. It's a positive card. It's a jovial card. It's an optimistic card. But let's get into tarot now. We're going to get you 3 in the upright, then we'll intuitively clarify. So let's get a good shuffle here for the lovely Geminis, please. Let's see what we got for my friends. Now, as I was already saying, the past couple of weeks' readings have been interesting. Last week's was titled A Karmic Blessing. The week before that was a shocking shift. A lot of change, a lot of karmic energy I've been seeing in the Gemini readings for a few weeks now, which usually sticks around, but you know energy is always shifting and changing from minute to minute. So we're hoping for some more optimism here. Let's see if those blessings continue. Even if it doesn't, we're going to keep it nice and optimistic in nature. Yeah, there we go. We have the Magician in position number 1. That's always a good way to start a reading. You create your reality, my friends, so to speak. Like, yes, there's certain things that are always out of our control. Okay, we have the 7 of Swords, which is a big card of the hidden, the unseen, the mysterious. It doesn't have to be treachery, even though it could be. We'll see. All right, that card popped out real quick. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. So there might be something you need to put a stop to. And I was getting a similar vibe in the Leo reading, but we'll go through these one by one. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicier intuitive stuff. And I will say this up front, there could be a warning or two in this reading with the 7 of Swords. But in position number 1, we have the Magician, all about creation, all about manifestation. A lot of you might have a big interest in the hidden, the magical. You might be doing rituals of various different kinds. I love this card. This could be saying that your powers of manifestation could be extra amped up in this time. So watch your thoughts. Watch what you're attracting towards you. The Magician can also speak about control. So there might be something you need to get under control, which is why I was given that message that you might have to put a stop to something with the 7 of Swords and the Hanged Man. We'll get there as we progress, though. This could even be somebody in your life that's a little too over-controlling, somebody that tries to control every single outcome, every single detail. Now, as we move to the center, we have the 7 of Swords. This card could be a lot of different things, some good, some bad. In its most optimistic, this could just be hidden things, mysterious things, things going on in the shadows that you don't quite see yet. This could be something coming towards you that's like unexpected or a surprise. But this can also be a card of sneakiness. It could be a little treacherous sometimes. So whether it's backstabbers, whether it's thieves, things like that. So there could absolutely be a warning here about the company you keep or the people around you. We'll just have to see when we clarify it. Now, at the very end of the reading, which is why I was given that message from the beginning, we have the Hanged Man. Now, that could represent a Scorpio. That some people say it could even be a Virgo sometimes, but I like to stick to the Scorpio. It is a pulled back, analytical, plan-based type of card. Okay, so you might need to examine certain things, look at the nuts and bolts, look at the gears, see why something's happening, see what's causing this, what's causing that. It is very pulled back, very retracted. That's why I said when we had the Magician into the Seven of Swords, into this is like somebody slamming on the brakes, putting a stop to something. So I really want to clarify all these. This could also be a card about self-sacrifice, taking one for the team. So it could be various things, but with all that being said, we're going to dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify. Let's put our little hanged man friend right there. And we're going to get these cards back out. Let's shuffle it up one time here, Gemini, and see what we could pull. And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research, rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. We're going to start in on this Magician. And as always, if you read tarot yourself, this box is here so you could just play along. If there's any messages that you want to give to your collective, you just drop it down below because it might resonate with somebody. And I don't mind whatsoever. There's limitless ways we can interpret these cards, and we all learn from each other. So let's go in on this Magician. There's the Magician here for Gemini. All right, that card just did a little flip in my hands. There we go. All right, yeah, we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, I feel like this could be another little warning from Spirit about not making mistakes you've already made. That's the intuitive vibe this is giving me. Because with the Magician, the attractive power like a magnet, this could easily be Spirit saying, all right, don't make the same mistakes again. Don't, like, if you've had a bad result, make sure that you don't fall into that once again. Because you could be bringing some situations that you've already gone through. You could be bringing that towards you here with the Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, the Ten of Swords, when it shows up in reverse, that's the best way we want to receive this card, because that could speak about healing. That could speak about rising from the ashes in a good way. But the intuitive vibe it's making me feel here is just be extra vigilant not to make mistakes you've already made. Okay, so we do have a warning here for sure. So do with that what you will, my friends. Apply it to your life as necessary, but there is a possibility of falling back into old habits. So we're going to go in on this Seven of Swords. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Let me get these cards straightened out because I don't want them all crooked down there. So let's see why the Seven of Swords is here for Gemini. Okay, why is the Seven of Swords here? Interesting stuff here, my friends. There's the Seven of Swords here, please. Thank you. Yeah. Ace of Swords, this could absolutely be about uncovering. This could be something revealed or revealing to you. The Ace of Swords, aka the Sword of Truth, right under a card of the hidden, like the Seven of Swords, pardon me. Also, I want to note, out of the 5 cards we have out, we have 3 swords. A lot of the mental action which air signs like you are known for. The very sharp mind, inquisitive mind, truthful mind. So when we have the Sword of Truth showing up under the Seven of Swords, you might uncover something, or you might need to call something out. If you see anything fishy, snaky, if there's an individual that just gives you a weird vibe, you might need to call it out or at least notice it. I do feel like in the coming days and weeks, like if there's any nonsense or bullshit going on around you, like you're going to hone in on it and recognize it for what it is. So we do have warnings here in the front end. Nothing too bad. But this could absolutely be like expecting the unexpected, uncovering what's hidden, seeing the truth of situations. That's how this feels to me. There could be something, if the Seven of Swords reminds you of an individual in your life or circle that might need to get cut away. Okay? Same goes to cross watchers as well. If there's anybody that fits the mold, if there's an individual in your circle that you need to watch out for, beware of a certain person, you might need to like cut that away. All right? We're going to go in on the Hanged Man. Feel like that's a pretty simple, straightforward message. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. So let's go in on this Hanged Man, see what that could be about. Hopefully we have a nice, happy ending here. What do we got here with the Hanged Man? Please. Thank you. Okay, and for any of you that are new to this channel, I only read jumpers. That's why I do these little shuffles. There we go. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, there could be something that you need to take action towards, or something that you like know that you need to do, that you finally need to, boom, make a move, take an action. We have the Hanged Man with the Knight of Swords in the upright. Now the Knight of Swords could represent you, so yeah, sure, for some of you it could be Spirit saying like, all right, pull yourself back from a situation. However, I do feel there's an action that you might feel in your gut that needs to happen. Like if you've been analyzing something, analyzing a situation, analyzing any misgivings or fishy people, fishy individuals, fishy situations, you might need to make a move on that with the Knight of Swords, because that is completely opposite from the Hanged Man. We have one that's like full stop and one that's full go. Okay, so if there's something you've been dragging the feet on, something you know you have to do that you haven't done yet, you might need to make a move towards making that happen. Okay. And then, yeah, for some of you, if there's a rough behavior, a bad situation, you might need to get Hanged Man about it. Really analyze it in a truthful way. Gemini, this is a very layered type of reading. So we're going to go through and do a quick little recap so we could try to tie it all. Yes, it could be one situation. It could be multiple situations. But if you kindly look down in the box here, my friends, in position number 1, we have the Magician with the 10 of Swords in reverse. Could be good, could speak about reinventing yourself, rising from the ashes, but the main intuitive vibe it was giving me was that of not making the same mistakes over and over again. There is a possibility of falling into behaviors from the past here, or making mistakes that you've already made, so beware of that. Warning. In the center, we have the 7 of Swords with the Ace of Swords in the upright. Either recognizing somebody for being a snake, watching the individuals in your circle. If there's anyone that does underhanded stuff, you might need to cut that away, cut that out. But yeah, the Sword of Truth coming up under the 7 of Swords means that there is something that might be revealed to you, like the energy of revelation or seeing the truth, uncovering things. So in this time, expect the unexpected. Moving to the very back end, we have the Hanged Man with the Knight of Swords in the upright. If there's something you've been dragging your feet on, something you need to do, an action, you might need to leap forward and, take action on that. But if there's a situation that you know isn't beneficial for you, this could be Spirit telling you to slow it down, hold your horses, pump the brakes. Okay, so do with that information what you will. Gemini, please take a screenshot if you'd like. We're going to get this shadow card out here real quick for you. So let's shuffle it up one time and see what shadows Gemini might need to watch out for in early February, please. And yes, we're using the Shadowland Tarot deck, which is awesome for this type of work. And it forces us to look at the darker energies, which is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, even though I'm an optimistic reader, so it's healthy to look at the darker sides of things sometimes. So what shadows would Gemini have to look at? Okay, hey, we have the King of Cups here, aka Kyle of Cups showing up. Interesting. So for some of you, and I want to say this, for a lot of the other signs this week, when we look at their shadow cards, a lot of people have been getting court cards. For some of you, this could be whether an older male figure, a father figure that's left a scar on you in some way. This could be a water sign that's left a scar on you in some way that you might have to deal with once again. But when I see the King of Cups, I do think of romance, love situation, and anything that makes your emotions heightened. So this tells me that keeping your emotions under control could be involved in the shadows for whatever reason. You might be a little more heightened emotionally than you normally are. But when we have a card like this showing up as a shadow, this could be Spirit saying like, hey, you're really going to have to work hard to keep that under wraps or keep that under control. I'm not one to say that you should be suppressing emotion, but with the King of Cups in the shadows, it does say if it's not an individual, that you really need to try your best to keep your emotions level-headed when we have a card like this. Interesting stuff, okay? So Gemini, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the January subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced on February 1st in my community tab. But for February, we have a very special one. I'll be giving away 2 copies of the wonderful, beautiful tarot gazing deck. This was created by one of our good friends, Heather Stargazer. She's been part of our community since almost the very beginning. And I use this deck in all the readings this week. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, 2 simple things. As always, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. Second, let me know down in the comments what tarot card you like to see in any love reading. Since it's the month of love, it could be any card. And at the end of the month, as always, I'll put the winners in my community tab. My friends, if you'd like to show Heather some love, you can check the description down there or the pinned comments. All her socials and her Etsy are there. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.